Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us. So, Brooklyn Tech PA General Meeting for January is now called to order. Got it. So we knew the agenda this morning. I believe you should have it. If you don't, please check your email, and I can also share my screen to show you the agenda. So, see, share my screen. Oh, it disabled the screen sharing, so I'm not the co-host.
I will. I'll fix you right now. Because you came back in, you were originally, and you are now.
Okay, good. Thank you. Let me see. Share screen. So, yes. So everyone saw my screen, right? Can you see?
Yes.
Great. So yeah, so I kind of changed a little bit. That usually the begin with a co-president report, but this time we'll go first by Ken, because we wanted to hear the general reports. That's the most important one, and then the updates, because the all the VPs have been doing a great job on many events, that ongoing events. So after that, Tiffany and I we'll do the president's report. We'll add on that some the VPs didn't mention, some we will just add on that. And then we have Miss Jay Chen, a founder of a Tiering company. So she's our vendor on our program that we help senior revising their college essays. So and then we invite Miss Jess, our AP of English. We'll talk about the major and also you can ask question. And the last one is a principal's report and the Q&A. Yeah. So this is our agenda. So the first one, Ken, would you like to go ahead?
Yes, I can. Mia, can you share the slide for me? Is it okay?
Yes. Hold on a second. I probably need to stop sharing first.
Can you share on my behalf or no?
Yeah. I just need to look at it for
Okay.
Hold on a second. Yeah. I think I have the one. Yes. I will share again. Hold on a second. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Is
Okay,
this
great.
one? No.
Yes, the one with the positive income. Yes, it is. It is.
Okay.
That's the good news for me as a treasurer. So sorry for the technical delay, everyone. We had a very good month in the month of December, starting with the revenues shown in the green bar. We recorded a total revenues of almost $82,000, and 50,000 of that came from annual appeal, 27,000 came from Lunar New Year, and the remaining 5,000 came from sponsorship. The December
Charlotte.
I'm sorry. The December revenue was more than the combined revenues from July to November, so very impressive. This enabled us to reach 50% of our revenue target, or $165,000. So again, a big thank you to all of you for your generosity. December was also a slow month in terms of spending. So some of the large spending items included on the slide, as you can see, one of them was the remaining payment for the college essay program, which you'll hear more about tonight, plus typical PA hospitality spending for breakfast and dinners with Principal Newman, as well as support for Mary's office as our parent coordinator. She's doing a wonderful job. Lastly, some monthly credit card fees that we have to live with. So turning to the bottom line, I'm happy to say that I can now present you a year-to-date net income of $67,000. I'm excited because this is the first time for me as the treasurer to show a net income on the slide for this school year. At the end of the year, as of December 31, our cash reserve was $547,000. So very good solid numbers, but I just want to remind everyone that we have a few large spending coming up in January. We have the teacher appreciation lunch scheduled in January, and the teacher's wish list is ongoing. And this pretty much wraps up my report. And if no further questions, I'll turn it back to Mia and Tiffany. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you. Thank you for the informative information. So, okay, I think we'll leave questions, at the end. If you have any questions, you can leave your questions in the Q&A. There's a feature called Q&A. So leave your question there, and then we can answer. So yeah, let's move on. Next one is community updates. So I think maybe Sharon and Kim, would you like to talk about the Lunar New Year event?
Yes. Okay. So we just post the link for the T-shirt and tote bag sales for the Lunar New Year. So the deadline will be January 26th. So please use the link to make purchase through the link, or for the parents like who don't use the online link, they can purchase order through us through the WeChat group. So we recommend all parents make purchase through the online store, which is more convenient because they prepay by credit card, and then they can just provide the name and the child's name and the year of the graduation. They can simply pick up on site on February 16th, or either from Mary's office, so they don't have to pay at the time that they pick up. So we really appreciate if all parents can make purchase to support our school. And also, tonight we are going to post the mega raffle link. So it's going to be on go live tonight, and the ticket cost will be $20 each, and there will be 500 tickets to sell. The grand prize will be $2,500. So that's
wow,
pretty good, because we only have 500 tickets, so the winning opportunity will be 1/500. So it's bigger than the mega Powerball, So I'm going to post the link in the chat. So but tonight, please watch out the TED Talk email from tonight. So thank you for everybody support PA. And other than that, yeah, so after remember to make the purchase through the online store. The deadline will be January 26th. So that's the very nice design and very unique. This is the Year of the Dragon. If you don't make purchase, the next time will be after 12 years. So I think it's a good thing to keep the memory for you and for your child, as a part of the tech family. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Sharon. I also want to mention our Lunar New Year is doing great. I think we're pretty much sold out as far as dinner tickets go. And please, as Sharon said, buy a T-shirt or a tote bag, and definitely buy a mega raffle ticket, because like we said, there's only 500 tickets that are being sold. So the odds are good that you could win. And we have 7 prizes from 2,500 down to, I think, 25. So you've got a chance to win something. But I also want to mention the Diversity and Community Engagement Committee is working with all of the tech clubs for a culture fair. And the culture fair was supposed to be tomorrow, and it's already been postponed once, and we have had to postpone it again. So we apologize for sending out an email asking you guys to RSVP. and 5 minutes later, canceling that. But the school and we were as well, concerned about the snow tomorrow. The DOE, it's beyond our control. Last week, they shut down all after-school activities because of rain. So if we're getting 1 to 3 inches of snow right around dismissal time, chances are good that they would cancel it. And we would just hate to see the event get canceled. You really, parents, you will receive another invitation. I believe I'm 99% sure that the new date is Friday, February
Oh,
9th. And
Yes,
so-
so Kim, I just want to jump in for a second that I just got a message from Mary. I think the cultural fair is now
February 9th.
February 9th,
Yes, thank you.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. So we will send out another RSVP because the reason that we're asking for this is the first time that the PA has actually done an event with the tech clubs, and we're very excited, and we are helping them. We're providing food for the different ethnic groups, and it's fun. Actually, I get hungry just thinking about the menus. And these kids some of the clubs are putting together presentations, and it's really, so many different cultures. It's really going to be a lovely event. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be there because we had to reschedule at a time that I'm out of town, but it's going to be a wonderful time. If you can make it, it's going to be Friday, February 9th from 4:30 to 6:30. We expect a lot of students to attend, and hopefully the snow will not thwart us a second time. So again, look for more information from us and please consider attending. You can talk to the club, see what they're doing. And again, it's the first time we've done it. So that's why we're asking for the RSVP, because we want to make sure we have enough food to feed everybody. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Sharon. and Kim.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Mia, one more thing I need to add.
Yeah.
So this is the first year we ask parents to make a small donation to sponsor teacher. So it turned out great. So with that donation from certain parents, we could sponsor 14 teachers to the Lunar New Year celebration. So thank you all for whoever purchase the tickets and also make the donation to sponsor teachers. Thanks.
Thank you, Sharon and Kim. And yeah, so okay, so I'm not sure if Leslie or maybe Leslie is here. But Leslie wanted to talk about the gala preparation. If she's not here, then Shani. Maybe Shani can talk about the teacher wish list and also the teacher appreciation lunch.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. So as you know, we've been doing the teachers wish list that we started last year, and we finally have begun ordering all of the items. Some of the teachers have already begun receiving them. I've been getting emails from teachers telling us how grateful they are for all of these additional items and how ecstatic some of their students were to receive them. So a big thank you for all your generous donations. You helped basically, I think, almost every single department in our school got something from the teachers' wish list. So, it was a really big effort this year, and we hope to continue it next year. And, maybe the program will get even bigger. We are doing a teacher's appreciation lunch, which will happen next Friday during, I believe, Regents Week, right? So there's testing, which means we will be able to feed the teachers in the cafeteria, buffet, from a really wonderful restaurant. And I know that we get to do this once a year for the teachers as kind of a thank you. And I know that they really appreciate the effort, and hopefully some of you will be able to volunteer and help us out on that day. Again, it's January 26th, and the luncheon is going to be at 12 p.m. in the cafeteria. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Shani. Thank you so much. And so Leslie or Ting, would you like to share your fundraising events? I'm not sure if they're here. I didn't see them. It's so many people here.
I think Leslie just arrived.
Okay,
I just let her in. So
Great.
give her 1 sec. Leslie, are you there?
okay, yeah, so maybe she need time to prepare, but I can say, that's another event that we have a mental health training, it's in person. And it will be in the school library. And so if you haven't signed up yet, and if you're interested, then please go check out the Tech Talk and sign up. That's the sign up link. So I think that's a great opportunity that you can receive a very professional training, on mental health and how to recognize or help your child or family if they have any mental health crisis. So I think that's a great opportunity. So we have 22 people sign up, and I think we can hold like more than 30 people. So please sign up if you are interested. Okay, so Leslie.
Yes, I'm here. Good night,
Leslie.
all. Sorry, I was at the library and lost track of time.
Okay, thank you. So would you like to talk about the gala and the other fundraising events?
Yeah, so I'll talk about Picture Day that we were talking about previously. An opportunity for 9th, 10th, and 11th grade to take photos. We were trying to schedule it in line with Regions Week, which would be next week, but just too short notice for it to be effectively a fundraiser. So we're exploring other dates. It's something that we're going to move forward with. We're just waiting to, find out what dates work for our school to be able to do that without interrupting too much instruction, but also being an actual fundraiser. So just more information to follow on that, but we're definitely still moving forward with that. The gala, we're still trying to secure a location. We're looking at Roulette, which is across the street from this, well, not across the street, but across the street from Barclays Center. Right now, they gave us a quote for a nonprofit rate, which is an amazing quote, but we just have to decide if we want to move forward on that. So once we secure that, then you guys will start getting information about the gala. I think that was it from me. Did Ting already present any information?
I don't see Ting. If
Okay.
Ting, are you there? Are you here? I don't see her.
No. Okay.
I don't see her. Go ahead, Leslie.
Okay. Okay, no problem. And Kim, were you able to relay some information about the merch for Lunar New Year?
Sharon did a good
Sharon, talk
job.
about
Yeah.
that.
Perfect.
Uh,
Okay. So
yeah,
that's
we
really it
did.
from us.
Yeah, actually, Leslie, I can talk about the big item raffle for Ting. Ting contacted two different sponsors, so she could be able to get 2 vouchers for the Lunar New Year raffle, which is separate in addition to the mega raffle. But that raffle, the big item raffle, will be only for people present, like on site, to purchase for the night. So there were 2 big items. The first one is a voucher for the college essay for juniors. So we are going to put that in TED Talk later for more details. So basically, it is about $2,000 package. So the juniors can have the free essay package editors and 1-to-1, like 3 times 1-to-1 opportunity. And also for the non-juniors, they can get 8 weeks summer camp writing, so which can help them to prepare as well. So, and the second voucher is the college consultant package. So all of them are good to the students, so which is a good opportunity to buy on-site raffle. So we are going to please stand by and watch, pay attention to the TED Talk. We are going to release in the weekly TED Talk, standalone TED Talk for Lunar New Year. So we are going to post more information there. That's the big items which are for Ting on behalf of her. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sharon. That was a wonderful update. Thank you. That was it for me as far as fundraising.
Yes, that's a part of the fundraising
Okay,
too.
thank you.
Yeah, for this
Yes.
time, we try to do more, like not only the merch, but also try to, you know, like to raise more money from the different kind of raffles, like 50-50 on site only. The mega raffle is for online and extended to everybody, you know, like even though you don't go to the event. And other than that, we do have the big items. So we really try to, you know, boost the fundraising for our students, for our school.
Great, thank you.
Okay,
Did we
thank
talk
you.
about the Lunar New Year shirts that they're
Yeah,
live
I
and
mentioned
open?
about that. I mentioned about
Okay.
that. I also
Thank
tell
you.
them the deadline will be January 26th, and it's better to take the opportunity to get the shirt, to get the tote bag. There's a fantastic design by Leslie's daughter, Savannah. Yes, I love it. I make the first purchase online.
Awesome,
So,
thank
yep,
you.
yep. I told them if you miss the opportunity, the next time will be 12 years later. And also, you know, that's a good memory to for the parent and also for the children, like to be part of the tech family. Yep. So really, we really hope more parents to buy it to keep as a part of the memory. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon, and thank you, Leslie. Okay, so is there any other VPs want to talk about your work? Or any updates? No? Okay, then I will do the co-president's report, and Tiffany, please feel free to jump in if you see fit. So I think we already have most of the updates, you know, from the VPs. So that's only a few I would like to add on. First is our March meeting will be in person. Yeah, so it will the March meeting, PA meeting will be in person. So and the April meeting is April 16th, due to talent show. So I think that's changed. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's hold on. I'm not sure it's Wednesday 17th. So then, okay, I will confirm that with Mary, or later Mary, with Mary coming, confirm with her. And
Yeah,
the graduation
it's the 17th, the Wednesday before. And also
okay,
the
so
meeting,
Wednesday 17th, right? Yeah.
yes,
okay.
and
April
the
17th.
meeting in March is also a Wednesday, March 20th.
Yeah. So
But it's in
March
person.
meeting is in person. Yeah. And the graduation is June 18. June 18. Yeah. So I think that's what I would like to add. Tiffany, do you have anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, good. Thank you. Then we can move on to we invite Jen Chen, our vendor. As I mentioned previously, that the college essay editing program is the first time we PA running such program. So we really hear from Jen that on this give us some report on this program. Okay, welcome, Jen. Yeah, it's
Hi,
your
how
fault.
are you? Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, thank you, Mia, for the introduction. And it is so great to see so many familiar faces here. My name, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jane, and I am the founder of Thea Learning Company. And we just had an amazing time working with Brooklyn Tech this year. Just a little bit about our company. Our goal is very much mission driven. We aim to democratize access to the liberal arts. So I remember 5 years ago, I would literally just be wandering the streets of Flushing and Bensonhurst, and I was handing out flyers on the streets to basically offer students help with their personal statements. And this was all on a pro bono basis. I was actually in finance for about 10 years after college. So fast forward 5 years, being able to do this for hundreds of students at Brooklyn Tech, I mean, it is really, truly, truly incredible, because our goal is to make sure that every student, irrespective of socioeconomic status or their backgrounds or whatever, should have access to high touch quality feedback on their personal statement and all assignments. I myself was a scholarship student, so this is why it really, really hits home for me personally. And our goal eventually is not just to do personal statements for college, but really anything that requires personalized feedback. And writing is really our strong suit. So we also did a workshop on resumes. We do homework help, AP essays, things like that. So that's just a little bit about us. And now I'm just going to start sharing my screen. Oh, actually, Shani, can you give me screen sharing capabilities?
Hold on 1 second here. Let's see. Am I allowed to do that? Kim? Is she there?
Is someone?
I think
I'm trying.
only Kim has yeah,
Access?
yeah, because it's only the host. We are the co-host. I'm not sure if.
Sorry, guys, I went to let my dog outside. Sorry about that.
Okay, but can you make Jen co-host so she can share her screen?
Thank you.
Give me Jane. You got it. Sorry about that. There you go.
Awesome. Perfect. All right. Can you, oh, still loading.
Yeah.
Okay, can you see my screen?
See, yes.
Okay. For those of you who, I know that some of you have actually seen our portal for Brooklyn Tech. For those of you who didn't, this is basically what our system looks like. So you can see that we actually ran 3 workshops on the college essay for, I mean, at that time they were rising seniors or juniors back in the summer. And also we did a workshop focused on resumes for younger students. But the real boot camp was the Sprint to College boot camp that we held a couple of different sessions, but primarily right before early decisions, so around early October, and also leading up to the regular decision deadline. So I'm going to start presenting the quick overview. Can you all see my presentation?
Yes.
All right, perfect. This is our inaugural boot camp, so we're absolutely thrilled again that we get to work on it with Brooklyn Tech. So 223 students ended up signing up with us. And this again goes from October 6th all the way through the end of December, leading up to early and leading up to, of course, the regular decision. Around 60% were more focused on the November 1st deadline, but we also had a healthy number of students sign up for the regular decision deadline. Now, we also had a survey for all the students going in just to gauge sort of their average confidence, how they felt about their drafts. I know many of the students actually produced a draft for their English classes, AP, and AP courses, but we also asked them, like, what sort of things did you want us to look at? And these were some of the top requests from us. So you can see, is there a strong theme of personal growth? Can you understand the story that I'm trying to tell? Is my essay cohesive? The whole thing helped, right? So you can tell that it really ranged depending on the student, but it was definitely more of sort of a holistic and structural narrative sort of focus for these students. Now, a quick note about how the bootcamp actually worked. I should have said that probably earlier. But basically, students signed up onto their own portal. What you saw was a staff portal earlier. All the students have their own individual portal, and they are connected one-on-one with an editor. And basically, that editor is working with the students, providing feedback up to 4 rounds. That's what the PA we sort of agreed upon. And so you could either submit anywhere from 1 draft all the way to 4 drafts. Now, to serve the Brooklyn Tech students, we had about 13 editors. So all in all, almost 500 drafts were actually exchanged, which is pretty remarkable, given the short sort of planning period that we had leading up to this. So these are some of the universities that our editors are from. They are a mix of undergrad, but primarily at the master's and PhD level. So those are that's a little bit about our editors. In terms of how many rounds most of our students took, so you can see it's actually pretty evenly split. Every student actually had up to 4 rounds, but only 30% of the students took advantage of that. But we did remind them, I promise, we really, really did. We sent out like 600 email reminders to all of our students. So our goal in the future is, of course, to not only increase the number of students who are taking advantage of the service that the PA is paying for, so it's not even coming out from the families or the students, but also to let them know, like, hey, you should submit. You should submit up to as many rounds as you would like within the provision, because here's the thing: we pay the editors the same amount of money whether you submit 0, 1, or 4 rounds, right? So it's really in our best interest that you're submitting, you're taking advantage of it. We did a survey. It was, I think close to about 20% of the participants in the bootcamp actually responded, which is pretty amazing. We are bribing them with like Amazon gift cards, but we asked them how they actually did in terms of admissions, and these are some of the universities they ran into, which is really fantastic. And of course, a lot of the students are regular decisions, so we haven't heard back yet. Let's see. Okay, so 40 students responded, and these are the results. About 4.5, I think it was like 4.7, said that the orientation, I should have clarified how helpful was the orientation in helping you write your personal statement. Just to let you know the format of the orientation, there were 2 live sessions and then it was done on demand. I would say that the live session and on demand were largely split 50-50. So that's pretty great to know that even if students weren't able to attend the live sessions, they found it really useful. They love the edit quality of their editors, which is really amazing. And I think the number was like 4.8 or 9 that they would recommend our program in the future. Now, one of the things we also, I think this is a really important metric for us, is to rate your confidence going into the bootcamp and after the bootcamp. Okay, every single student who attended our bootcamp was required to already have a draft in hand. So going from a 2.7 to like 4.2 was really tremendous, just to have somebody comb through it with you, provide detailed feedback, have that connection with your editor. It was great. So we were really, really happy to see the results there. We had qualitative testimony. We just asked them basically what they liked, so it's kind of like a testimonial in a sense. So you can see, I like that my editor not only gave me criticism, got compliments. Another student said that the editor not only pointed to areas that required revision, but also posed helpful introspective questions. And one of the reasons why, and you can see with the other ones, I like the structural feedback, or I like the new perspective of my story. One of the reasons why this was sort of an ongoing theme in the students' responses was because that's what we actually train our editors to look at based on the number of rounds that they were reviewing. Specifically at the end was your grammar, your dotting your I's, crossing your T's. In the beginning, we really wanted to focus on the narrative because that's what a lot of students were asking about going in, the structures, the voice, so on and so forth. We also asked for what we can improve on next time. They love their editors, which is great. So a lot of students wanted to keep them, but they did want some more help sort of in the beginning in terms of the brainstorming. Just because given the timeline of everything, we basically said you had to have a draft ready to go, right? Or else we weren't going to complete it within the 2-3 weeks we were working together. So having that initial brainstorming session is something we would love to do going forward, starting a little bit earlier, of course, and maybe not just focusing on the personal statement, but the overall college admission process. That is all, those are all things that we can discuss and take a look at. But yeah, thanks for listening. This is just a summary of our boot camp. Yeah.
Thank you, Jen. That's very helpful. And we also like to hear from students and families on this program. Please provide your feedback to us. You can email us or any way you feel comfortable and to reach out to us. Because we also wanted to evaluate this program. I heard some students really like this program and they feel really useful, but I also heard at least one of students, like a parent said her child only, I'm not sure, Jen, maybe you can clarify, like the parent said her child only, like she's submitted the essay, but it's like graded by a system. Like how many scores you can get this part and another part and the next part. Like there's no comments from the editors.
That must be a technical issue. It is impossible so there is always grading attached to every draft, but it's impossible in our system to submit only to score without a draft. So there must have been a technical issue in our system. So before running this the tech piece of our company, we created our own school, and within that school we actually process around 50,000 drafts. So we know there were some issues in the past where maybe a draft got submitted without the score, or a score got submitted without a draft. So going into this, it's impossible to have one without the other. So that they should definitely reach out to us, support@thealearning.com, because that definitely is an error somewhere.
So it's like
Microsoft,
normally they should get comments from the editors, right? And
yeah, we have very
comments.
Yeah, I don't want to open up any documents just because it's private for the student, but it's very detailed, in-depth feedback, basically.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you very
generally,
much.
whenever we heard of those issues, it's a Google Docs versus Microsoft Word issue. So you couldn't open the comments. We've had experiences with that. Yeah.
Okay, good. So is there any parents have like a questions to Jen, because I don't want to keep her here. We have the rest of the meeting. So if you have questions to Jen, you can ask right now, and then we don't need to keep her here. Okay, when is the next boot camp revision? So we're thinking about to do it like before we'll prepare like before the summer, and then we can do it like during the summer. I think that's the perfect timing. But we can definitely do it because I don't think like a senior they have time like before the summer. So I think summer is the perfect time to do so. We actually had kind of like a seminar, many seminars during the summer, but some students attended, but not that much. I think like 200 students, right? Shannon, do you remember the number? The seminar during summer? Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 400 different students that attended the free seminars, but they were 1 week or like a one-off workshop that happened. But I just have to say that, my son also did this program with Jane, and the, feedback that he kind of gave me was that it was incredibly helpful for him to kind of start his process, because he already had something in mind, but then, it kind of did a 160 and went a different way. And he felt that the editor that he was working with is extremely patient and kind and knowledgeable. And I have to say that about just Thea in general. I mean, starting with Jane, it's been just a pleasure to work with her and have her help us develop this program. So I really hope that you guys, continue to do so. And if your child is a junior, please encourage them to do this program when we, set it up. because it really is helpful and it's free.
Yes, it's free for parents and the family. PA pay for it. Yeah, so I think we get kind of good deal. It's a very good deal, and then I mean, I can definitely will report on our charitable report on that cost, so you can check our charitable report. And how can students enroll? So we actually Mary or the school send out many emails to students, but this time we only send to senior students. So senior students and the parents have received many emails on this program. We asked you to sign up, but I think maybe some students just missed that email. So, or maybe they are not interested, or yeah, but I think that's yeah, we hope that next year we can have more students enroll. Yeah.
Right. And for the spring program that we're going to start, it will only be for juniors. They are going to be juniors who are going to be rising seniors for the program that we
Oh,
will
yeah.
do.
Yes.
Right.
So still senior.
Yes.
Yeah. Rising senior.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, we will send but yeah, so you send the email to rise no, just rising senior.
Correct.
Yes. So how and when can students enroll? I think the best way is that ask your students keep track of their email. I don't think we are. I think we're preparing maybe during May, June. Yeah, May and June to to start kick off the program and then prepare everything and ask students to sign up. Yeah.
Correct. It'll be in the spring when everyone gets notice about the program.
Yes. Okay, Ken, you raised your hand.
Hi, yes, I have just a general question for Jane. Maybe it's more for college counselor, admission counselor, but anyway, given the chaos with SAT and ACT and the grade inflation across the country nowadays, how important does the essay and the supplement play in terms of the college application? I'm sure it's, you can share some light with us.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So one of the things I do want to preface here, like I am not a college consultant by any means, that admission is not really our bread and butter. However, I used to be a Harvard interviewer for many years. So actually I'm speaking from that perspective. The essay is important. The essay is really, really important. And I would actually say it's not even so much, I think, the fact that there is a diminished emphasis on the standardized test. Yes, that certainly is the case. But I would actually say with ChatGPT, it became more important because now anybody can just put in a prompt and bang out some sort of a personal statement that is decent, right? So effectively the standard that we've seen of all the college essays have actually gone up. So how are you truly differentiating yourself? How are you truly being authentic? How are you really showing how you have evolved as a person over the course of 650 words? Like that is becoming extremely, extremely important. So one of the things that I always say when it comes to the personal statement, I say it's kind of like therapy in a sense, right? There is the exposition, there is a the rising action, the climax, and the resolution of you as an individual. And those are things that you can't fake, right? And I actually wrote my personal statement on why I loved history and how I was inspired by my history teacher. So think about all these years later, I'm back doing exactly that. Like I'm in education, even after 10 years in a totally different field. Those are things that are all about authenticity. And I think when it comes to the college application package sort of overall, that ability to find an authentic voice, to understand how you as a child have actually grown over the 4 years in high school, that has become extremely important. So that's what I would say.
Thank you, Jen. So when parents ask about the specific name of this program, so I'm gonna share my screen to see show you the the email that we sent out. So you will see. But this is just for the it's already like our past past program. And for this year, for the rising senior, like after fall, we don't know what's the name. So this is the one for this year. We send out this email to all seniors and all seniors. This the email, so you can see the flyer. So next year, just check out your email and you will see, what's the name of the program. We don't know yet.
I'll just hop on and say something quickly about this. One of the things that we also, I don't know, maybe it's just me being like overly idealistic about all of this, but we have a writing school. It's called the Air Writing Center. However, we didn't want, when we're partnering with a vendor like Brooklyn Tech, we didn't want to come over like overly commercialized and be another vendor and say, here's a free seminar, sign up for our classes afterwards at whatever price, right? Like that's not what we really wanted to do. So we almost white labeled it, if you will, for Brooklyn Tech. So the idea is that the Brooklyn Tech PA is offering this service. Essentially, like there are no logos about THEA, about the Air Writing Center, or anything on here, right? We also don't tell our students to sign up for the class. This is something that we really want to do with the PA. So that's maybe why you don't see like a specific vendor name associated with the program.
Thank you. Thank you, Jen.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. So thank you for attending this meeting and give us the report. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Jane.
Okay, so next one, it's VP of English, Jess. Hi, Jess, welcome.
Hi, thank you so much. Hello, Brooklyn Tech PA, and thank you for showing up this evening and for welcoming me into this space. I appreciate the chance to share about the English department in the library. So my name is Jess Rhodes Bonilla, and I've been invited to give a little bit of an overview of what's going on in my department and to field any questions from you. I'm going to screen share, but also I'll drop my slides in the chat here in case it's easier for you to see things that way. All right. My contact information is here, so and I'll end with this as well in case something comes up that's more one-on-one that you'd like to speak with me about. But I welcome parents to reach out whenever something is happening with their student that might need support. So I'm going to just start with the basics here. 1 second. I am screen share. Oh, here we go. There's a little delay on my end. Just some basics about the way English works in Dewey High Schools and Tech specifically. So students need 8 English credits to graduate. They will get 1 English class each semester. There is no major that's associated with the English department. Although there do tend to be certain majors, maybe of humanities-minded students that have a certain interest in our classes or choose classes maybe that speak to skill sets that they will use in their majors. In general, there are more choices the older students get, and I'll talk with you a little bit more about what those choices are. But I think it's important to understand that across all of our courses, students are going to be practicing critical analysis, argument writing. There will be opportunities for personal reflection, creative writing, research, and also discussion and presentation skills. Those will be, no matter what grade or what class those come into play, there will just be a different emphasis depending on the year, depending on the course. In general, our classes also seek to provide opportunities for student choice when it comes to reading. Many of the teachers in the English department have an independent reading practice, and students are encouraged to select from the classroom library or our tech library. Often these are organized in groups, and maybe there's a menu of books that's available. So just in terms of a few things, a few basics and a few things that might be in common across all of our courses. Curriculum-wise, this is just kind of a bird's eye view of what the 4 years of your tech student might look like. In 9th grade, our English classes, they are double periods that meet every other day. It's flipping with the DDP class. What's great about this is there really is a community that forms among those 34 students because they're with each other 2 periods every day. And our 9th grade teachers are really, really awesome at helping our students transition to tech. And the focus in that year is really just on establishing what those expectations are for high school level reading, writing, and speaking. In 10th grade, most of our sophomores are taking a world literature class. We do have one class, it's called AP Capstone Seminar. There's an application process. It's just 2 to 3 sections. And it is a class that focuses more on research and critical and argument writing and presentation. And so some students already know that's what they're very interested in that and take that seminar class, but the bulk of our students are in world literature. In 11th grade, our students really go almost half and half at this point in 2 different directions. About half the students are taking an 11th grade American literature class. This is a class that I myself teach, 2nd period each day. I really enjoy it. And about half the students take an AP English language and composition class. This junior year is also the year that students will be taking the English Regents. We do that in January. So for us, actually, our juniors are taking it next Tuesday, which is sort of the off season for Regents exams. Most Regents exams fall in the middle of the year. Passing that exam is a requirement for graduation as well. And maybe one other thing that I'll mention about the 11th grade year, sort of coming on the heels of Jane's presentation and that amazing program that you all have offered our students. All of our 11th grade classes make space in the spring to work with our students on a personal statement for college applications. There is feedback that happens and conversation that happens with teachers. And our goal is that no student goes into the summer between their junior and their senior year without something down on paper, without a draft of something that's had some kind of conversation and feedback from a teacher. Often our students write a completely new personal statement over the summer, and our 12th grade teachers pick it up in the fall and provide some additional support. So that personal statement has a place in our classroom, but we also understand that students are working with coaches or in programs on their own. And ultimately, it's such a real world piece of writing. Ultimately, they're responsible for deciding what gets sent off to colleges and what it is that they want, what piece of writing they want to represent themselves in that process. In 12th grade, this is really where it's the first time that we offer a whole menagerie of English classes that students can take. We call them our senior selectives. We have about 10 of them, and these can be genre specific or project specific. But we have, for example, we have journalism, drama, creative writing, film and literature. We have a class on mystery, horror, and the supernatural. There's also an AP class in the 12th grade year. AP English Literature is an option as well. Students in the spring of their junior year, they rank the selectives, and then I work really hard at getting your student to their first or second choice. Most students have their first choice, and we try to accommodate student demand for the courses they're most interested in. Right now, Film and Lit is one of our most popular classes. So is the creative writing class. There's so many different things going on, and it's also really wonderful just to offer this chance for students to choose to dig in to a kind of writing or a corner of literature that they're particularly interested in. Other writing opportunities that the department sponsors, we have a school newspaper. It's called The Survey. And we now have a class that students can take 10th period, either as journalists, but it's also where the student leadership, our editorial staff, where they're meeting. But your students all the way down to students in their freshman year can already be contributing to the school newspaper by being a part of the after school club. The survey, it's published in print 2 to 3 times a year, and then there's ongoing publications online. The advisor for that is Mr. Wentworth. We also have a literary journal called Horizons that's advised by Melissa Goodrum. That again, the editorial staff is meeting together, deciding on themes, putting out calls for contributions, and it publishes, the print editions are especially beautiful. It publishes not just writing, but also art that our students create as well. And so a student can contribute to that without being a part of the club or the staff, but there's also great opportunities for students who are really into writing and to art. There's opportunities for them to be in the editorial leadership of those publications, of both of them. The library is also part of my universe here in the English department, and it's an amazing space with so many different things going on. Unless there's something, a class or an event scheduled for the library, it is open during the day, and students and faculty are in there doing all kinds of things. There's reading, studying, there's places for students to print. Often students just need like a quiet place to decompress. It's an alternative to the cafeteria, which for some students is an overwhelming or unproductive place. There are some bean bags for napping, there are charging stations, and our librarians are often putting out art supplies or low-key technology, just like musical instruments, just lots of things that students can use to be creative and just to use a different part of their brain in what can be a fast-paced day. So just a space where all kinds of things are happening. All of our freshmen get an orientation. They spend a whole period in the library with their English teacher and one of the librarians, sort of learning the ropes and becoming familiar with the space and the different catalogs that they will need, both for their reading and for their research. Our librarians regularly partner to teach research skills, not just with the English department, but with all the departments at the school. Any teacher that reaches out to schedule time or to gather resources, they have the support of a library team to help them with that and to deliver that expert instruction. At Tech, we just encourage reading for curiosity and joy, not just for assignments and English classes. This year we had what we called a Speak for All initiative. Our freshmen, they were all invited to read one class, the whole cohort. It's called The 57 Bus. It's a book that they voted on at the beginning of the year. And right before the winter break, in their English classes, they had a couple of days of conversations about that. That was an initiative that came from some juniors and seniors that really thought that would be a way of building community here at Tech. So that was exciting to be a part of. We have a Black History Month read-in coming up in the library in the month of February. And over every single school break, our librarians offer book clubs. Often the books, we have enough copies of the books that students can take and have them for that particular book club. And then there's always a way of kind of meeting back and having discussions or sharing responses on the other side of the break. We have many resources in terms of reading available through our Sora app. And so not only do we have the physical books in our library, but our students have access to many books, audiobooks and ebooks through this amazing app. And so I encourage you to encourage them to take advantage of that. And you can see there on the slide just the names of our library team: Joanna Drusen, Joy Ferguson, and Katrina Kaplan. So that's a lot of information. And I wasn't sure if you want to guide me for how question and answers might work. I'm happy to take a few questions, and let me go back just in case you need contact information. Yeah. And I'll come up.
So I think there's one question in the okay. There's one question in the chat box in the chat, but I think I will encourage you, encourage parents to write down your questions in the Q&A, because that would easier for us to follow up. And Ken will read out the questions. I think there's one question for AP.
Yeah.
In the chat.
Yes, the parent is asking, my junior is taking American literature, but has only read one piece of literature so far this year, the play Fences. Is
Mhm.
this typical? It feels very limited and not helpful for building future exposure in this field.
So I would say, Ms. White, that that's not typical. I know the class and I know the scope of the semester. And so I do know that there's that one single central text, but also the different things that that teacher is doing with the text, which includes other reading that isn't book length work and many different types of writing that are built into the semester. So this particular teacher has sort of done like a deep dive into this play and used it as a jumping off point in a bunch of ways. But I would say it's more typical that students would read 2 to 3 class length class books in a semester, so closer to 4 or 5 over the course of the year, and then possibly more through independent reading as well. Keep in mind that sometimes there will be units that don't have like a literary work at the center. There could be like an argument writing unit or a research unit where students are exploring different skill sets that aren't necessarily anchored in a literary text. So in general, I would say 4 to 5 class length books is what you could expect. But there is variation teacher to teacher in conversation with the department and with me. Hi, Chloe's mom. Hi, Sharon. See what else.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so
Shout
much.
out for the library.
Is there any other questions? I don't see any other questions. Right?
I think that's about it. Yep.
Okay, great. Thank you, Jen. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And just in general, like parents and PA, thank you so much for the things that you do to support our teachers and all that you do as parents to support your students. It means a lot. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you. Okay, so we'll move on to next one is our principal here, Mr. Newman. Yeah, great. Great. Okay, so yeah, Ms. Newman, yeah, you have the floor. I can hear you. Mr. Newman, I don't hear you. No, you are not muted, but I don't hear you. No. Okay. Okay. Okay, maybe before that, Mary, yeah, Mary, do you have any information updates?
I have information. We have a graduation date. That's exciting, which is
It's June 18th.
June 18th. Hey, you stole my fire.
You were late. You're coming late. You're coming late. Okay.
I came in late. I don't really have that much, to offer. I really enjoyed both Jane and Jess's appearances. Next month, Dr. Elisa Margarita from Environmental Science major is going to speak. So please come and tune in for that, because the sophomores will begin choosing their majors around that time. If anyone wants to ask me questions, you certainly may.
So, Mr. Any questions for Mary? I don't see any question for Mary in the Q&A. But Mr. Newman, you are on mute. Can you? No.
What happened to him?
happened?
You sign out and sign back in, maybe.
Technical issues. Yeah.
I think that's a good idea. Maybe go out and we'll let you back in.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna start some school tours in February, I think. So you'll get some sign up information on that, just for mostly for parents who maybe juniors, I think. Parents of juniors who never got to come to the school. I'm not sure about senior parents. You might not care anymore because you're leaving, but maybe not too late too soon. So just look for that. And I don't know. Dismissal, should I talk about dismissals one more time? You can't leave without a parent signing you out. Kids can't leave without a parent signing them out, ever, unless they're over 18. The only other case is if a kid is sick and then the nurse will send them home. So please, pretty soon we're gonna stop calling parents. We're just gonna tell kids, you can't leave.
Yeah, so what about the sophomore major selection? I didn't see anything about that, so Mary.
Major selection starts, I don't have the date on my, in my brain. I think it's, it starts right before winter break. There's gonna be a major fair. And then, I think like the week before major, winter break, there's a major fair. And then there's a, deadline the Tuesday after, the winter break when they, have to choose by for sophomores.
Okay, good, thank you. Ms. Newman? Oh my God.
Oh, Mia, I wanted to say something.
Yeah.
We also have a date for the juniors college night is January 31st, and for sophomores, the college night is February 12th. So they should get Naviance access. I know a lot of parents were wondering about that in the fall, but we have those dates and we'll put them in Tech Talk.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the information, yeah. So, maybe Newman can call into the audio phone number. I'm not sure who can, Mary, do you think we should maybe just wait? I think he's going back, he's coming back. Let's see.
Dr. Campbell, Rhonda Cambridge Phillip, she is asking about the AP history teacher that we don't have right now. They are looking for a new person and there are going to be some interviews next week. So hopefully that situation will be resolved soon.
Mm-hmm.
The person left in December and it's hard to get a teacher a good teacher midway through the year. So, but it's hopeful.
Is this the same teacher? Because she's asking about AP African American history, but then in the question, the Q&A, somebody's asking about AP US history. So I was just curious if it's the same teacher.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I'm guessing that it probably is because I think we're only missing one history teacher, but I'm not sure.
Mary, there's been a lot of questions on Regents Week and whether students should come to class or school in general.
Okay, there's no classes, period. Students do not take Regents as freshmen, I believe. Is that correct? And they, but there is a MAPS assessment for people, there's a MAPS assessment. So that will take the place. So they'll probably, so people who don't have Regents will have to come in one day for the MAPS.
So if they don't have a Regents exam.
If they don't have Regents, they don't have school, but there is one day they have a MAPS assessment.
Mary, I could jump in and clarify a little.
Oh, great. Thank you.
So for Regents exams, there's a really big English Regents exam. So that's on Tuesday. That's this coming Tuesday. That's all of the juniors or any seniors that still need that for graduation credit. And then for the other subjects in Regents, there are no full classes. It's just here and there. Students don't need to come in unless they have an exam. And so the one other exam that's not Regents that's running are the MAPS for the 9th and 10th grade. So those are computer-based tests. There will be one time slot, so one morning or afternoon, and students will receive, our freshmen and sophomores will receive that information by email that tells them when they're to come in to take that MAPS assessment. So your junior definitely has a test, unless perhaps they have an ELA Regents grade from middle school, but there's about 1,500 exams that we're giving on Tuesday. And then otherwise your freshman and sophomore, they have the MAPS exam in one window. And if students don't have a test that they're enrolled for, then it's, you know, they stay home. It's a day off. It's a day off for them.
Ms. Bonilla, do you know when the emails will go out?
For the English regions or for the regions in general or for MAPS?
Like for maps, or if they're missing a Regents exam and have to do a makeup, or
Yeah, I believe for the Regents exams, the testing committee should be sending out emails tomorrow that have their room number. Any student that's taking a makeup exam, then they should have either been in conversation with their teacher or their guidance counselor. If there's like a math, a science, or you know, a history exam that they're taking. And then the MAPS, I'm not sure of the timing of when the room number might be communicated. I just know the Regents notifications are going out on Friday.
I think that the MAPS is also coming out tomorrow or early next week.
For the map, a parent is asking,
Maps.
is there an opt-out form for the map?
There's not an opt-out. There's a makeup test, probably. Or there used to be a makeup test.
Okay.
And as for Naviance, you get that after the meeting.
And Mary,
After
can you see the Q&A feature? Can you see that? You are the co-host, right? If you're the co-host, I think you should be able to check the Q&A, and you will see you know, there's maybe some questions you can answer. So Kim, if you are there, please make Mary co-host, and also Jazz co-host, so they can see, you know, there's some questions they may be able to answer.
I only see 3 questions and they've been answered.
That's answered. So that's 12.
Then I
open-
can't see the questions. Yeah, I can't see the questions yet.
Hold on, Mary.
Thank you.
Okay, Mary, I'm sorry, Mia, who else did you ask me to make a co-host?
Jess.
Let's see if David.
Yes, she is a co-host.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And I just let Principal Newman in, so you probably want to make him co-host as well.
Okay, Mr. Newman.
Hear me now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I'm
great.
using, so I'm off my computer. Sorry, I restarted a couple of times. Now I'm on my cell phone. So here we are. Okay.
Okay, good.
So I can't see the chat or anything right now off my cell phone.
Yeah, so Ken can read out for me, for you.
Okay, so for you, Mr. Newman, I guess there's a question that's been flown around regarding a social study teacher, Mr. William Chang, was removed from the classroom related to his engagement with students about the situation in the Middle East. I know that the DOE standards for secondary social studies emphasize the importance of teaching civic engagement, including respectful information. I'm very concerned about Mr. Chan's removal from the class and sends a certain message to our student.
All right, start me with tough questions. I can see. So, and I don't mean to be, you know, dismissive by any way when I say this, but I cannot share personnel updates regarding private employee matters. That being said, I will say this, that, you know, hearing your question, this situation has nothing to do with engaging in dialogue between teachers or students about current events.
Okay. And then second question I see is related to AP US History class. There's a sub for the last 3 weeks, but they're not being taught anything. What's going on with this semester?
Yeah, we unexpectedly a teacher left us. Well, actually, oddly enough, a second teacher for the class unexpectedly left. We have interviewed 2 different potential candidates. We're going to solidify that tomorrow, actually, and there should be a new teacher for the rest of the year starting the first day of the spring. So, you know, the Monday will be the last time students have classes for the fall. So in place on, I think, the 30th, which is the first day of the spring, I think, we will have a new teacher in place.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Ken, there's a follow-up question about that. It just says the former teacher left tests and homework ungraded.
If we have the work, we could have the work collected by the new teacher and graded. Most likely, the kids are not getting a midterm / final. Most likely their grades will be frozen as to where they are in the grade book. If there's things collected that we can recover to help in that, we will do that in that regard. If parents want to move that grade to a CR, they surely can do that. If any student is in jeopardy of failing that class, we'll see what we can do and work that out. But we're not beyond a little, loss of instruction for a few weeks. We're not going to hold, students are not going to be punished for not having a teacher.
There's also a follow-up for Dr. Chen.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
Sorry. My senior says they are not allowed to discuss the situation in the Middle East. Is that the school policy?
In the what?
They are not allowed to discuss the situation in Gaza in social studies. Is that the school policy?
No.
Okay. Good.
I mean, if I mean, I don't know the perspective on this. I mean, if there's a teacher that doesn't want to talk about it, I mean, that's a personal choice for them. There's surely no edict from me that this is not to be discussed. I think it's very important that students understand historically and present history that is taking place and put things in perspective, and have a knowledge base around it. And so I would encourage teachers to talk about this. There's no like gag order that this can't be discussed. Absolutely not.
Okay, thank you. Let me start from the top. My student tells me that one of their teachers for ArtSmart has indicated they wish the students to attend class on Thursday, even though my kid does not have to attend school for Regents. Does the PA or school have guidance for us on who to reach out for with this request for non-discrimination? Should my student not commute to Brooklyn Tech for one of this class? Not quite sure.
I don't know what they're talking about. We don't have a class called ArtSmart. Students don't come to class on Regents days. I don't know what they're talking about. I mean, if they, is there somebody, the person who asked the question, could they just speak aloud or clarify or?
Yeah, maybe if yeah, because it says it's like a anonymous participant, so we cannot see the name.
Yeah,
so maybe please speak out. We allow you to to speak out if you are here. If not, then we will have to just move on to next question because we don't know. I mean, even Mr. Newman.
There's a question for Leslie, but I'll say that later. The next one is I have very much enjoyed learning about grade-specific opportunities, but I know we're missing some really cool stuff. Is there a high-level list of recommended programs that are based on specific grade level, such as juniors and their juniors and their caregivers? Here is this helpful essay prep program, and it is funded by fundraising. I think it's kind of got lost in translation, but I think they're asking for any grade-specific activities that we can recommend or opportunities.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm a little confused what they're referring to. I mean, grade-specific opportunities in what?
In terms of recommended programs that are specific for grades. I don't know if they're looking for specific internships or opportunity outside of the school. I can tell from the question.
Yeah, I mean, if it's that, we do post internship opportunities, especially through our work-based learning coordinator. Most of those are CTE coursework aligned, and for mostly juniors and above, if that's what they're asking. But those things are posted on the website.
Yeah, okay, can I jump in here? I think maybe this question is related to the program that we are talking about, the college essay editing program. So yeah, so I think No,
This is actually the parent who asked. Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking this call or this question. It's actually in general overall. And I want to say, David Newman, I attended one of your wonderful breakfasts. I learned so much about senior opportunities and junior opportunities. I'm a parent of a freshman, but was wondering if overall, as someone who's following all of this, attending meetings and reading all of the updates and just so impressed with all of the opportunities that are offered. Some of them are offered to everyone. Some of them are offered specifically to grades and like, the juniors offering this essay support. I was wondering if there's anywhere to like kind of look to, hey, I'm a parent of a ninth grader. Here are things to look out for. I'm a parent of a 10th grader. Here are some things to look out for.
So not as far as like internship opportunities, just like a sort of a, I don't know, guidebook for parents sort of thing, like a parent handbook sort of thing?
Yeah, well, even more so if you think about internships, right? Internships aren't for every grade. Neither is the, trip abroad. Neither is graduation. So I'm just like throwing out, is there anywhere to look, for, hey, you have a senior coming, a rising senior. Here's your little like high level bullet list, October-ish or Q1 or whatever, we're approaching fall. Here are things to look for. Or your freshman's coming aboard. Here are some bullet lists of things you should be following this or looking at that.
Yeah, I mean, that would be sort of across a broad spectrum. It does resonate with what you're saying is sort of like a parent handbook, but then also maybe a complimentary student handbook. And we have a lot of that information online. Not all of it is parked in one place. Like everything you need to know about Brooklyn Tech and high school and whatnot. Maybe it should be, but there are a lot of resources. I'm actually just, as I'm speaking, playing with the website and seeing what you could see. But there is a lot. I'm sorry, I'm moving my phone around. There is a lot out there. As you know, on the website, it really is a wealth of information, especially for students. But yeah, I mean, I see Mary's typing in the chat as well. I don't know if she's talking about the same thing. But I think it begs the question of, why isn't it all, in one place? And I think we could collate things together, not just like a Q&A or sort of thing, but like really like a handbook. I think that could be very useful.
All right, thank you so much. Appreciate
No
it.
problem.
I'd be happy to help if that would be helpful.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if that might be in the student handbook, but, you might look at that online. They just redid the student handbook last year. I mean, this year, so it's all up to date. So if you page through that online, it probably has a ton of information that might be surprising to me even.
Okay,
Yeah.
Mr. Newman, you can take a break for the next question. It's more for PA. Leslie, the parent is asking what are the top priorities right now for the gala planning and execution at this point? Take it away, please.
Okay, so the top priority would be to try to secure donations. So if you guys have any references or anyone you could refer to us, any companies, we're looking for donations that we can then turn around and auction or raffle items. So that's the priority right now. Securing a location is the priority, and the execution of it is with your help. So anyone that is available to help, please feel free to reach out to us. Tiffany, can you provide the gala's email so we can start looking into that and everyone could send their concerns or questions or references to that. So once we secure a location, then we would definitely move forward. We do want to celebrate our Lunar New Year. So for us, we would like to keep that on the table, and then we'll discuss more of the gala once that event has come and pass. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. What's the contact information for those that want to help?
Go ahead, Tiffany. Sorry.
It's in the chat.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
BTHSgala gmail.com.
Thank you. And we're looking for some big ticket items, guys. So if you know anyone at Disney, anyone at any big chain hotel, please reach out to us. Thank you.
Susan,
Next
you're
question.
asking about maps and regions. You're gonna get a schedule probably tomorrow and or Monday. So just hold tight. I mean, if your junior has an assessment that day, then maybe a Regents that day, then they'd have to come to school that day, but we don't know yet. You won't know
I'd
until
like to
tomorrow.
say this on the Regents, you only come into school during those days if you have a Regents or a MAPS assessment. The MAPS assessment is scattered out through 4 days. You might get one of the 4 days and you might get an AM or a PM assignment. That is just for 9th and 10th grade. And the ELA Regents is at large. All students are, not all students, but juniors taking the ELA. But all other ones, I mean, you might have a Regents, but we're talking about handfuls of kids would take other Regents. Other than that, unless you have the ELA Regents or a MAPS assessment, you're not coming in.
Mary, I think this one is for you. Where do they find out volunteer opportunities? Where to go and how to sign up?
Oh yeah, I just put that in the chat also. There's a list online at the Brooklyn Tech website with some suggestions. They might be broader though than what you're looking for. I would recommend going local to a local soup kitchen, a congregation, a community garden. And then you could also consider joining the NHS, which does lots of community service.
Thank you. And I don't see any more in the Q&A.
Yeah. Ms. Newman, do you have any other information that you would like to?
I don't know. We had to pivot. It's probably been answered in the chat, but we had to pivot to a different date for graduation. So the date is now the 18th. That might not be news to you, or you might not have known the initial date. Obviously, we wanted to do graduation a week later. It just did not work with the venue, the Barclays Center, which has had to move things due to the NBA draft and the Lady Liberty games that now take place at the Barclays Center. So the 18th is the date. It doesn't really have any impact in the sense of that's in the middle of Regents Week already. It's not like there's school after that date, so that's not an issue. Everybody will be getting 4 tickets, I believe. I think that was a question.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody has any other questions related to that, but it's going to be on the 18th. Prom is on June 1st. That's a Saturday. I don't know what else people need to know.
What time is graduation? Sorry to cut in.
The time is not been I don't know if that's been contractually done yet. We're probably looking at a time similar to last year, afternoon, 3 o'clock.
Thank you.
So, but that is not solidified yet, but 3 o'clock is what I'm looking at.
Someone's asking a question about the SAT for juniors.
Oh yeah.
And then also the PSAT for sophomores that's going on what days?
Yeah, the SAT.
11th and 12th?
The 11th and 12th. So these days are also parent-teacher conferences. So having nothing to do with parent-teacher conferences, but it's sort of a good day to give it. On the 11th is a Thursday, and there will be only school will be for students taking these particular exams. So the PSAT for sophomores and the SAT for juniors only. 9th grade and 12th grade will not be coming to school on April 11th nor the 12th. The 12th is already just a half day due to parent-teacher conferences, and it will still remain a half day. But there will be no instruction on the 11th all day and the 12th. You will either get a AM or PM assignment on the 11th, or an AM assignment on the 12th for the PSAT or the SAT. So you might get AM, PM, or AM on the 12th. you only have to come in one of those sessions to take whatever exam you're supposed to take, and then you don't come in the other session. So for example, if your SAT is on the Friday in the morning, you are not coming to school on the Thursday at all.
And is there a cost?
No,
No.
the SAT is picked up by the city, and the PSAT is actually paid for by the school. Mary, I thought you had another question. I thought you had, did you ask me another chain
No.
of nothing? That's it? All right, that's PSAT, SAT, major selection, the fair, after school is on the 15th of February. That should be a Thursday. If it's not a Thursday, my date's off, but the 15th of February on a Thursday, that should be 2 days before the break. And then students have the portal opens right after that, that evening on Thursday, the 15th, and it will be open all the way until Tuesday after the break. That should be the 27th.
That's one a parent asks, like, is there no school for May? No, it's April 11th and the 12th for all students.
April 11th and 12th, we are just giving PSATs and SATs. So
So
if
no
you
school
are
for
a
soft,
ninth
no
grade,
school, yeah.
if you're 9th grade or 12th grade, you have no school on the 11th and the 12th. If you are in 10th grade taking the PSAT, 11th grade taking the SAT, you will be assigned either the morning of the 11th, the afternoon of the 11th, or the morning of the 12th. You only come in for that session, not for the other two.
Okay, and for the SAT school prep, do you have any decision yet on the boost camp or something? That's last year we have the SAT.
Yeah, I think you and I, we should talk offline about it. I don't have a preference, but we'll get it going, So
Okay.
so if we do something similar to last year, I'm surely committed to paying for that from school funds. So let's talk about that quick so we can get it going.
What about,
great.
the PA is going to provide any tips or discounts for SAT services, prep services?
Yes.
Well, that's
I
what we
think we
have to
have
discuss.
yeah. I mean, Princeton reached out to us and that they said they would love to provide us the discount code. So, but we will confirm with that.
Okay, so
Um,
that's,
What's that?
I'm sorry, Mr. Newman, I missed it. You said something about the portal opening on the 15th. What is that?
That's
major.
for major selection.
Okay,
So
okay.
how we traditionally do it is you go to the major fair, you find out all sorts of information, and then by the time the fair is done, 6 o'clock in the evening on Thursday, the portal will be open. You can make decisions then. It'll be open the entire break and until midnight on the Tuesday after the break. That'll be February 27th. So they get between the 15th and the 27th to make their decisions. You can keep changing your mind, put in new decisions. We use the last, version. But it will be locked out on the 27th at midnight, and that's it. But you have plenty of time to think about it and decide.
Yeah. So when we'll know what session 10th and 11th graders are signed up for on April 11th?
What session you get? I got to talk to the testing people. That's not likely to come in until about, let's say about 3 weeks prior to that. So we're looking at probably the third week in March. You probably won't find out until then.
Okay, and I think that's the last question is I was wondering why tech shows all the regions grades on transcript and not the highest if the student takes an exam more than once.
Yeah, we don't control your transcript. Your transcript is controlled by the DOE. And so although we put in grades that go to your transcript, that's just how the transcript works. So, so I think you're saying that all scores are reported, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't see any other questions.
Sounds good.
Great. Thank you. I think this is a good place to stop. And thank you everyone for coming. Thank you for joining us. Thank you.
Have a great evening.
Tiffany, do you have any other information that you would like to add?
No, I think we're good.
Yeah. Okay, good. I think yeah, we can leave it here for today. Thank you everyone. Thank you.
Good
Thank
night.
you. Do check
Thank
out
you.
the laptop. Every
Good night,
information
everyone.
there. Okay. Have a good night.
you. Thank you.
Good night.
Night.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Good night.